Hi everyone, Happy New Year. It's Madeline and I hope you all had a fantastic holiday. I'm really hoping my luck from my last video will continue on to today because I have quite a few banners to catch up on and quite a lot of target units, so let's get started. I'm going to start with the legendary Lilina banner first because it ends in just a couple hours and is actually the reason why I'm even recording this tonight. I haven't been feeling the greatest for the past couple days, and I'm still not feeling the greatest today, but I couldn't let Lilina leave without summoning for her. I know a lot of people were disappointed to see Lilina instead of Byleth or Claude, but I adore Lilina, and she's actually the first legendary or mythic in months to finally lure me into summoning on one of these godforsaken banners. Although I guess that's kind of the wrong phrasing to use there because many of the mythics are gods, aren't they? Okay, this is a really good circle. There have been mythics and legendaries that I have been interested in, just not enough to get me to finally cave. The last legendary I summoned for was Celica, which I guess was just over a year ago now. And it took a barrage of Edelgards and Thrasirs before I finally got a single Celica, so that certainly turned me off from legendary and mythic banners. Although that said, trying to get Lilina has the potential to be far more disappointing than trying to get Celica was, because I at least love Adie and Thrasir. I only regular like Reagan and Plumeria, so I won't be as happy to see them as I was to get many Edelgards and Thrasirs a year ago. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, which is not right now, thank you. Anyway, because it is a new year, I thought it would be fun to talk about my wishes for the next 12 months of Fae, as well as just, the next 12 months of Fire Emblem in general. I did this in my New Year's summons last year, and I actually looked back at that video earlier today to hear what I had wished for again, and some of the things I wished for actually happened. It was really a pretty good year for me in terms of intelligent systems giving me what I wanted, and I didn't realize how many of the things I was happy to see I had actually publicly said I wanted in that video. I didn't have great luck with just regular new units because Annette was the only character I asked for that actually made it in, but I did ask for a pirate banner, a Sigurd Deirdre duo unit, and a duo unit of some combination of Lagu's royalty, and we got all of those things. I also wished for duo units of the Three Houses lords with their respective retainers, and I do wish we could have gotten one of those instead of multiple singular alts that the Three Houses lords actually got. I just thought pairing them with their retainers as duo units would be a way of not making it feel so redundant to get a bunch of Edelgards or a bunch of Dimas in a row. In any case, though, Lord Retainer duos are still something I would love to see. I'd especially love a Dedue-Dimitri duo. It would be better if Dedue could just get into the game on his own first, I have to say, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So yeah, I made another list for this year, and it is about 15 times longer than last year's list, so I've separated it into 4 different categories to hopefully make it more manageable here. We've got regular units I want, alts I want, duos I want, and resplendent attires that could actually make me buy Fae Pass. To get into that first category, probably the 5 characters I want to see the absolute most in Fae are Khalil, Boyd, Muriel, Lex, and Azel. And even that physically hurts me to say because this is a stupidly long list and I love everyone on it so dearly, but those 5 are really important to me, and I hope they can have their moment in 2021. Khalil and Boyd are 2 of the Tellius characters I love the most, which is saying a lot when they exist in a cast of characters I have so much love for already. I admittedly don't have high hopes for Khalil because she's not at all popular, but at this point, Boyd not being added yet almost feels personal. Shinon and Gautry were the only other original Grail mercenaries that hadn't made it to Fae yet, and intelligent systems, I guess, completely forgot Boyd existed when they had the perfect banner to put him on this year and then didn't do it. That one hurt quite a lot, and I hope he will make it on this year. And then Muriel, for me, is also sort of heading the short list of Awakening characters that still aren't in Fae, all of whom I wait for tirelessly and have waited for since Fae started. And with Lex and Azel, I feel like those two are just long overdue for Fae, and I'm so excited to see their art whenever they finally make it in. Other Yggdrasil characters I want are Oythe, because it's been a year since Shannon was added, and you know, I'm tired of waiting for his husband to join him. We also still need so many of the second gen kids. Personally, my top picks are Arthur, Tyne, and Patty, but I love all of those freaking kids, so I'd be cool with seeing literally any of them. We just need more genealogy in general, IMO. With Alib, there aren't many FE6 characters I'm still waiting for other than Elfin, but I still have a pretty sizable group from FE7, considering how many of them are already in. For one thing, Sane and Kent still not being here feels like the most tragic oversight. Like, where are they? And I also really love Renault, Isadora, and Harkin, so I have my fingers crossed for them too. Although, I feel like Sane and Kent are more likely, but if I knew anything, I would have thought Sane and Kent would have made it in ages ago, so clearly I am not the greatest at predicting what intelligence systems will do. From FE8, I really want Gilliam and Cyrene, and I also want the most precious Cav brothers, Ford and Franz. Those are just two good boys that desperately need to make it in here. Other Tellius characters aside from Khalil and Boyd that I'm still waiting for are Kieran, Volk, and Nasir, who I want just so desperately, honestly. And then below them are Moram, Largo, and Heather and Lucia. Oh no! Why? I mean, I was going to say I love him, which I do. The thing is, it's just a bummer that my rate will drop now. Man. Okay, I'm gonna head over and do some of my ticket summons on the banners that I'm not actually going to be pulling a lot on. I'm gonna go for Sothis on this one. I already have Sothis because I went for her last year, but I'd always love more copies. Me and merging green girls. Oh my god. See, we just needed to take a break from the legendary banner, you know, regroup, get some easy 5 stars, and then we'll hop back over there and we'll get everything we could possibly dream for, right? Now we get Sephiel. I was kidding. Okay, we didn't actually get him. Like I was saying, after Khalil and Boyd, Volk and Kieran and Nasir are like my big wants from Tellius. And then the thing is, I want most of the Tellius cast that isn't in yet. So like, in my head, it's kind of just tiers of how much I want a group of characters that I really want all of, if that makes sense. So Moram, Largo, Heather, and Lucia, I want a little bit less than all of the others, but I still want them very, very much. Oh my god, why am I having amazing luck on the one I didn't even set out to get anything from? She's plus res. Well, I'm not going to say no to such a delightful winter gal, so I'm very happy to have gotten her and the Marth duo. Okay. Now let's head back over to Lilina. We're taking the long route because I guess I just forgot what directions were. Okay. I just want one copy. I thought maybe I could try for more than one, but I'm realizing now that that is just unrealistic. There are too many other characters I want, and I have to face that dreadful New Year's banner. I don't know why Intelligent Systems did that. What a horrible idea. Honestly, one of the worst things they've ever done in this game. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but it's really gotta be near the top of the list, right? Putting last year's units and this year's units on the same banner? I hope that isn't a thing they're going to continue doing, but Let me postpone complaining about it until I actually move over to that banner and am either treated horribly or amazingly by it. Because maybe if I don't complain now, the banner will be nice to me. In any case, back to Tellius. I also would be really happy to get a regular Reese. I know we already got him as a Summer Tempest Trials unit, and I love that alt so much, but I'm also greedy and think he deserves to have his normal look in Fae too. Man, I could just go on listing Tellius characters I want in Fae, but it would honestly be pointless because I would pretty much just list the entire cast of those games. And now we've finally made it to the 3DS games. Like I said a little bit earlier, I'd be glad to see anyone at all from the list of Awakening characters who aren't in Fae yet, but of that list, Muriel is definitely my biggest wish. I also want her kid Laurent because it's honestly messed up that he's the only kid left if you don't count Severa. And yeah, there aren't too many characters left from Awakening, but Vake is an idiot with an axe, which checks so many boxes for me right off the bat. And it's also completely fucked that Flavia and Basilio still aren't here. And I'd love a Yenfei Grand Hero battle at some point. So it's just a good list. I'm sad that so many of them still aren't here. Oh, hey. It's the beginning of the end. I think I just start all of my years in Fae being absolutely ruined by a legendary hero. Oh, and also I'm now outed as not having played the chapter where you get Reagan yet. Wait, I thought I did. I guess I didn't though, because it has an exclamation point there. She's plus speed. I don't have opinions on Reagan yet, because I haven't really played the chapters. But I will. I have to meet Sharina's latest girlfriend. In any case, I'm not mad to get her. I'm sure I will end up loving her once I finally play the chapters. Let's go until we get one more 5-star in this banner, and if it's Lilina, we'll just be finished with this banner, and if it's not Lilina, we will jump over to one of the other banners to hopefully have better luck there. Hey, it's Lilina! So silly. You are not the Lilina that I meant. You knew that. The only other two specific Awakening characters I had written on my list are Kellum and Gregor. I love them a lot. I don't know if that's like gonna sound surprising or not. I'm not sure. I never see anyone talking about them aside from the obvious Kellum memes, so I don't really know what the fandom consensus about them is. Then moving on to Fates, I have not had the best luck as far as which characters made it into Fae from Fates, especially considering that so many of them made it in. Yeah, my Fates Land favorites were mostly left out from that. Orochi is extremely high on this overall list of characters I want, and in general, I wish the fandom paid more attention to her. I also would love to see Shura, and Charlotte desperately needs to be freed from seasonal-only prison. From 2nd gen, I still really want Sophie, Maitama, Ignatius, and Percy. I hope I don't get dragged for that. I know a lot of people don't care about the Fates kids because, I mean, it's already not exactly easy to care about most of what's going on in Fates. Sorry, Hinata. But I was actually in the hospital when those games came out, so I spent a lot of hours on them, and a lot of hours choosing skill paths for my conquest team and building them into absolute monsters, and the fondness for the frighteningly strong kids I created in that playthrough still lives in my heart, you know? This is also my first null, so that's exciting. Okay, we are almost finished with my initial list of just characters I want to see. Only Valentia and Three Houses to go. I would love for literally anyone who is left from the Valentia cast to make it into Fae, but my biggest wishes are for Luthier, Fernand, and Tatiana. Tatiana and Zeke were two of my biggest hopes for a Valentine's banner, but I guess I have to just lay that hope to rest because we already got Valentian Valentine's units last year. And then with Three Houses, I'd honestly be stoked for any of the remaining students, but Dedu, Raphael, Leonie, and Ignatz are my biggest wishes right now. And I've also got my fingers crossed for the Ashen Wolves to show up one of these days very soon. Oh, and also Geralt and Judith. I think it'd be neat to see them. Man, okay. I told you that list was long. I'm sorry. And don't worry, the other 3 categories aren't nearly that size. The next section is alts I want, and I don't have specifics for a lot of these because most of them really boil down to me just wanting another version of a character I like, but I do have specifics for some of them. Obviously, I would love an Annie alt. I've always imagined her getting either a winter alt or a Valentine's alt if she does get one, but I'd also love to see her on a dancing banner because even though I don't particularly love the dance outfits in Three Houses that any dancing banner units from Three Houses would inevitably end up in, I do love Annette getting to do things she loves, and that girl loves to sing, so it'd be a great fit. Another alt I've wanted for quite a while is Binding Blade. Oh goodness. Why? I just shouldn't have been convinced to come back to these banners. Man. I'm definitely not upset. I'm happy to get any 5-star, and I like Plumeria. I just really hope to get Lilina, you know? Maybe this will be her. It is! Yay! Oh my god! She's so cute! Baby, baby, baby. She's minus attack. I'm not looking. I am looking away from the minus attack. I am looking only at my precious daughter. Oh, I'm so happy. Her art looks so good. I love the way her hair looks and her eyes. It's like watercolor-esque, and I just think that art looks so nice. Okay, well, I'm very happy. I got all 3 of the red units on this banner, so we'll take it. Okay, how about we take a little detour over to try to grab some winter fays. I already have 1 or 2 of this fae, but I'd love to plus 10 merge her, honestly. And I think this art of her is so cute. As I was saying, I'd really like to see an alt for Corel where it's him from Binding Blade. I think being a sword demon is fun and all, but I've always found Sword Saint Corel trying to be a good uncle and atoning for his sins to be far more compelling. Also, I just realized I went on red. I was still in the mindset of Lilina, but, you know, Roy showed up, so the game was also still in the mindset of Lilina. But yeah, I'm also still waiting on a Raisin seasonal, which I don't think is too far outside of the realm of possibility. I don't really care what type of seasonal he would be, but whichever kind it is, I hope Tabarn is there with him, or he at least gets to look/act a little tougher, considering how being strong like Tabarn is something he really longs for, you know? Well, we're gonna leave this banner with a fae, not the right fae, but a fae. With my wish for Raisin, though, that's why I wish he had been on the pirate banner with Tabarn this year. And speaking of the pirate banner, it's extremely likely that pirates were a one-year thing, but I really hope that they come back. By the way, I'm doing a few Christmas summons right now. I had already used my free summon, as you probably noticed, but I really want the Altina Soniki duo and maybe a Hilda or 2, as well as a Sephirin. It's hard because I've wanted Sephirin in Fae. I like Sephirin a lot, actually, but I don't really like his art. I don't love it. I wish I liked it more than I did, but I don't. In any case, I wanted pirates in Fae for ages, and I'm not ready to let them go so quickly, so I hope they come back this year. I'd also be down for another Sorin of any kind, another Frederick of any kind, and also the long overdue Cherche seasonal that I hope is in the cards for some point in Fae's existence. One that I don't think is ever going to happen that's on my list is a Fates Arthur seasonal. I actually really love Arthur. He's a great guy, and I'd love an alt for him that's just a bit stronger, you know? I'd also love seasonals for Sonia, Delphia, and Saber. partially because I just love them, and mostly because I think the art would slap, especially for Sonia. She is so pretty, and I feel just lends herself to having amazing art in this game. So hopefully she can get an alt soon. And finally, in my opinion, Clarine, Gwendy, and Sarah all deserve alts, and I hope they get them soon, or at least ever. Also, maybe this doesn't go without saying, so I should say it, but when I mention how I want seasonals for these characters, by default, I always mean on any seasonal banner that's not one of the summer banners. I wasn't always so bothered by summer banners, but I find myself more annoyed at them every year. I would never turn down an alt of a character I love, but yay! There they are. Aww, they're so cute. Babies. Yes, even women with intense ab lines are still babies in my head. Okay, let's grab a Sephiroth and a Hilda and be done with it, and head over to the actually godforsaken New Year's banner. Anyways, it's not like if a character I really liked was on one of the summer banners, I wouldn't try and summon for them. I feel like all of the other seasonal banners have so much more potential to give the characters these really unique and personal clothing designs, because they, you know, have more clothing on than they do when wearing swimsuits. In any case, those are my alt wishes. Now for duos. Going back to Sword Saint Corel, I would be equally cool with him appearing, not as a singular unit, but as a duo with Fear. It would be so sweet, and it would definitely feel more different than just, you know, another version of Corel on his own. And he could also be a harmonized hero with Carla, because even though she's super dead during FE6, Altina and Soniki's presence together on the Winter Banner this year proves that being from the same world still counts as harmonized as long as you're not technically from the same game. Plus, there's just a lot of fun opportunity for sad emo times when fighting alongside your dead sister, I feel, and I live for sad emo times. And I also want a Carla alt anyway, so wins all around. Another one that would make for some seriously sad times would be a Laren's medallion possessed Grail on the Fallen banner, just holding Elena's dead fucking body in his arms. But maybe that's too sad. Oh my goodness. Oh, Wayne. Wow. I don't have him. Baby boy. I also mentioned Oithe earlier, and I'd love a trio duo with him, Shannon, and little Selith, and here's Hilda! Yay! Okay, we don't need any more of her because I am trying to not break the bank here before I get to New Year's. Okay, let's grab these two, and after this, if neither one of them is Sephiroth, I might hop over to the New Year's banner, because there's just a lot of units I want to get on that one, and I don't want to go over there while I'm already broke, you know? In fact, now that I'm looking at how many orbs I have, I think I've already spent more than I should have before jumping over there. Oh, okay, well this isn't going to be Sephiroth, so we're probably not going to get Sephiroth this year, but that's okay. But yeah, Oithe Shannon, little baby / toddler Selith would be so cute. I think my summoning video for that one would consist only of me just crying and occasionally saying, "They're such babies." So maybe it's for the best that that one doesn't happen, but it really should happen. Okay, we'll go on these blues. I won't be super mad if I get Lesbian Protector Alphonse, but I really would rather get Valoria. Another trio that would just be a bunch of babies that I would love to see would be Oscar, Boyd, and Rolf together, a la the Paula trio from the spring. On my list a year ago, I asked for Lagu's Royals, and even though we did get Raphael and Nyla, they weren't a duo. So I'd like to request that either Leanne and Nysala or Rayson and Tabarn become actual duo heroes this year. I'd prefer Raisin and Tibarn because I just like them the tiniest bit better as characters. I shouldn't say that. Do I really feel that way? I love Leanne. She's literally been on my permanent Fae team for ages now. But I think the combination of Tibarn and Raisin I just like better because I don't like Naysala that much. I like him a lot. I don't like him as much as the other three though. So he drags down Leanne in my head. But then at the same time, I just need to see the beauty that will be Leanne and Naysala dressed in white and black together. I'm also always asking for a Soren Ike duo, and I also really want a Lucia Alencia duo. I guess basically I'm just asking for Intelligent Systems to say gay rights this year. Oh my gosh, and speaking of, the literal next duo on my list is just, quote, Sharena and one of her girlfriends. I don't know, I'm partial to Peony, but I'd be cool with any of her girlfriends. I'd also be cool with any of the straights from Valentia. Gray and Claire are my personal favorites, but Tatiana and Zeke are up there for me too. Okay, now I'm curious. Which straight couple is your favorite from Valentia? Tell me in the comments, because I'm really curious about that. I know a lot of people like May and Bowie, but maybe it'll be Celica and Alm just because they're the main characters, and like, we all love them. But back to Valentia, I'd also love a Valbar-Leon duo. And when I was jotting down characters for this list, I almost put Lissa under the characters I want alts for section, but you know, Winter Lissa is already my perfect seasonal unit. So there's no real way for that to be topped for me, you know? But that said, I would still love to see her in a duo. I think I'd be most interested in her with Maribel or a harmonized unit of her with Ophelia. Either one of those would be so good, and I just want more Lissa in this game. We need 2 more Lissas so that I can play Lissa Emblem. Oh my god! Yay! She's so cute! Plus res. I have no feelings about that. No more blues. Only colorless and green now. We're going to get everyone we wanted. It's gonna be Selkie. It's not Selkie. It's okay. Like I mentioned earlier, I'd still love to see the Three Houses lords with their retainers. And I've also come up with 2 Annette duos I'd like. One that could actually happen is Annie and Mercy together, which would be adorable. And one that is definitely not going to happen, but should happen, is Annie with one of the members of CHOP from the Forging Bonds conversations. Here's how it goes. We get her into CHOP during the next Forging Bonds. She acquires a whole group of father figures that are better than her actual father, and then she gets a harmonized alt with one of them. It's foolproof. You don't even have to give me credit for the idea, Intelligent Systems. I also, at some point ages ago, saw someone suggest a Camilla Bernadetta duo, and I've really been endeared to that idea ever since I saw that. They'd be so sweet together, and I think it would be a really different look at Camilla and the capacity she has for just love and caring for people who are younger than her as little siblings, which is the foundation of her character that has been washed away by how over-sexualized she has been by heroes, so I'd really like to see that. And the last duo I have written here is Tethys and Garrick, who would look so good as a duo unit. Too many good duo possibilities, honestly. I hope at least one of my picks happens this year. Okay, finally, Resplendent attires that might actually make me buy Fae Pass. If you're new here, I'm completely free to play in Heroes and have been since I started playing on release date, and I'm not entirely opposed to buying Fae Pass for a Resplendent attire I really like, but there is like a sense of pride I have over being completely free to play and never spending money on this game, so oh no, that's not who I wanted. But that's okay. We got 2 Plumerias today, 2 separate Plumerias. And she's plus attack. But yeah, I'm not saying I will never buy Fay Pass. If there's a Resplendent attire for a character I really like, I might buy it. Maybe. But it's still not really even in my mind as something that might happen anytime soon. So that's why the category is named this, because it would have to be art I really liked of a character I really loved for me to be convinced. Lissa is one that I would really have a hard time saying no to. She really got the anime little sister face treatment in her original unit's art. And I'd love for her to get better art through a Resplendent, especially if Umi Ugeso, who did her winter alt, did her Resplendent art, because I love that art so much, and Umi Ugeso is my favorite artist who does work for Faye. I'd also love new art for Claire and Lachesis, and for Clarine and Noe, even though I don't particularly dislike Clarine and Noe's original art or anything. I just love to see them with new art. Now that I'm looking at the characters, this is really just seeming like a list of a lot of blonde girls, isn't it? Okay, no, it's not. I also have Sarah on here. Oh, hey, yay! There they are! Only one more unit I have to get. Okay, let's go. Come on, Selkie, don't evade me for 2 years in a row. So yeah, I would sell my soul for a Sarah alt, but I might just buy Fay Pass if Resplendent Sarah happens first. Lelena is also on here. I'm more than happy with all the alts Lelena has gotten, but I think some really good art on a Resplendent for her could convince me to buy Fay Pass. The same thing goes for Faye. I love that tiny / giant chicken dragon so much. She was the first +10 merge project I finished, and I would love to start using her again. I haven't used her in ages. And I'd also love to see what a Resplendent could do for Seth and Frederick. I don't really love the art either of them got in their original unit. And then Arthur and Cherche are two whose original art I actually really like, but they're done in such distinct styles that I think it'd be nice to see them in different ones, if that makes sense. And that's everyone. Surely out of that giant list of wishes, at least one of them will come true. Watch, instead of any of the things I asked for from the 3 other categories coming true, every single character I asked for a Resplendent attire of comes true, and then I pay for Fay Pass for like 6 months in a row. Oh, I hope that doesn't happen. I also didn't have legendaries and mythics as their own category because I am dreadful at predicting those things, and honestly, I try to pretend they don't exist because 9 focus units on 1 banner scares me. Literally the only legendary I can even think of that I've waited for years is Sigurd. So hopefully he happens soon, but there's a lot of legendaries and mythics I need to bring home before I really want to be worrying about him. I guess the only other wishes to share are my wishes for Fire Emblem in general in 2021. It seems pretty likely that we'll hear something about the next main series FE game this year, and I guess I don't really know what my wishes would be for that. If we get a remake, I of course would want it to be a genealogy remake, but let's be honest, I will most likely buy and play whatever Intelligent Systems puts in front of me, so really I'm just looking forward to finding out what that will be. A dedicated Fire Emblem Direct would be nice because honestly, there's nothing more hype than getting a dedicated Direct for a game series you like, and the one dedicated Fire Emblem Direct that we did have was just so exciting. It's just exciting in general to think about how far Fire Emblem has come. We can argue forever about whether its new popularity is really good for the series because it's converted the games into not looking a lot like the older entries that we love so much. For me personally, I ultimately am just happy to still have Fire Emblem games being made and to have content being made by fans because the franchise has fans and so many fans, and that definitely was not always the case. So I think there's a lot of good there, even beyond the not so good changes to the series. I am pretty much out of orbs, but by the way, my free summon on Winter's Envoy, I got a 12th Winter Lissa. Now I have to +10 merge her again. That's just the only conclusion I could come to. Anyways, Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Tell me about all your recent summons, and let me know what your greatest hopes and dreams for Heroes units and the Fire Emblem series in general are for this coming year. I know last year sucked a lot for most people, but if it counts for anything, I'm proud of you for making it through. And let's have a 2021 that is full of good times and lots of Fire Emblem. If you're new here and you enjoyed this video, you should leave it a like and absolutely ravage that subscribe button. I will see you all really soon, and until then, bye everyone, be well.